It's funny because I am as free market as you can get in terms of trade. I believe that trade should be free. But I just wrote an op-ed that was published in Town Hall about this and about how we fail to understand that we don't come to these trade negotiations now with a free trade agreement in place elsewhere. And free trade agreements aren't really free trade agreements in any case. They always come with some sort of codicils. And the reality is that our competitors in Europe, in Asia, in South America, in Africa, et cetera, they levy huge subsidies. They create huge market distortions specifically designed to undercut U.S. businesses. So when it comes to Europe, yeah, there are huge barriers of entry to U.S. businesses. They've always put them there. They have sort of other barriers and other subsidies that are at work that distort the marketplace. And so the U.S. has to take a position that we are not going to unilaterally disarm ourselves trade-wise until other nations do. Representative Ted Yoho, a Republican in the House, he has this bill called Zero for Zero, which is essentially this philosophy codified into U.S. law. He hasn't had it passed yet, but he's working it through.
Right, because I guess that's the true definition of fairness, is if you actually come to the table, come to these trade deals, and you don't have one side that's taking advantage of the other side. Meaning, when I say one side taking advantage of the other side, I mean non-U.S. countries taking advantage of the U.S. That's not how it should be. We're the most powerful economy in the world. In any of these trade deals, we should always be getting the best of these deals. That's what President Trump said was his intention when he began to levy these tariffs. People on the left and the right criticized him for the tariffs. I understand the skepticism about tariffs philosophically.
Absolutely.
They haven't worked historically, and I don't like them. But I also think, and I've said this to you before, I think it would be closed-minded if we didn't look at what was happening before our eyes and recognize that it's not what we expected. If we stuck with what we thought would happen hypothetically, rather than recognizing what's happening. And it seems to me what's happening is that the tariffs are working, that it is working to level the playing field, so to speak.
Well, we went for so long with a U.S. trade policy in which the U.S. was going to come out second best, but largely because we had an administration that didn't believe that America was an exceptional nation, believed that America was a force of evil. So they were going to essentially sell America out. And I don't mean that in a treasonous way, but essentially sort of not negotiate the best deal for America. Now you have Donald Trump. He doesn't care about any of those things. His goal is to get the best deal for America. And listen, keep in mind, Liz, when I heard Donald Trump say this in 2015, I thought it was foolhardy. I thought it was the stupidest way to negotiate. I was fundamentally wrong, largely because I didn't think he was serious and I didn't think he can accomplish it. Because essentially, I've never seen an American leader with the force of backbone when it comes to trade like I have with Donald Trump, who is going to, when he says he's going to work to get the best deal or walk away from the table, he really means it. I've never seen that from an American leader, a U.S. trade representative or an American president.